welcome back to my channel. My name is Cornelia, but you can call me Corny. We're officially in October and borders are about to open in October 11th. So I thought it would be quite helpful if all this month, throughout this month, I'd be answering your questions and providing you with useful information. So I will be your unofficial guide to life living in Japan. However, as a travel guide, I cannot recommend everywhere because I haven't been everywhere. I will do my best to be as accurate as possible, and if not, you can correct me in the comments down below. Let's get to it. What are things you can do to travel on a budget? Book cheap accommodation, stay in a hostel, eat at local places. You can find some good little cheap finds. Do your research. The quality is high here anyway, so anything's gonna taste pretty decent in Japan or pretty good. But you do get what you pay for, I believe. Like, the more you go up, the more that you be like, I want to come back here. There are some little gems that you find and you're like, this is daylight robbery. I'm coming back here again to eat because it's cheap. You have to figure out your routes of things, because there are some like travel passports or travel deals that you can get within certain areas, or if you ride this train line you can go back and forth so many times. So if you do things like that, you might be able to go and visit other places at the same time and like cover more ground. If you're not a resident here and you have a passport, you can get tax free or tax back on certain things when you buy things. That might save you a little bit of money. Book things in advance. How are the Buddhist temples? Me personally, I love temples and shrines. I do like colour, so when I see like red or traditional wood and carvings or stone, those kind of things really get me going. And like water features, when they've got the deer scare, or the what's it called, with the, when you wash your hands. A lot of people get bored because they are literally everywhere and you'll be like, oh, that one's nice. But I really love architecture, so when I see it, I notice the difference in style or what's similar, and I just like to have a little peek at how they've decided to decorate. I think they're beautiful, I really do. Hey Corny, do you have any friends from Africa? Like, if they don't have very strong passports, that might have some advice to give on different visas to get when going to Japan. I don't think it matters too much where you're from in terms of the visa, but it matters more of how long are you intending to stay? Like, it just depends. You can get a working visa, a highly skilled visa, a general visa, specified visa, diplomatic visa, or official visa. What is the strongest visa in Japan? Hi Queen! Thank you. Would you recommend staying in Japan for a week or a month? Maybe 2 or 3 if wanting to visit. Thanks. I feel like if you've always wanted to come here, I would recommend to stay as long as you can. Vacation is never the same as living here. I feel like when you've got the free time, there's so much more places you can travel. I don't know what your budget is, but I would always recommend as long as possible anyway. Yeah, so a month would be great to get a kind of vibe, and if you want to test it out and see if you want to come over to live, you could do like the main things in about 2 weeks, but I would recommend a month if you can, and just go, you know, maybe further up north or maybe further down south, and not just do Tokyo, and go out to the sticks and enjoy the environment. Japan is full of so much countryside. It's quite a high percentage actually, so there's so much to see that is just natural and authentic, and you're not just going shopping or seeing weird crazy things in the city. Hope you can make it over here and explore because it's so much fun. Hi Corny, any suggestions for affordable Airbnbs or hotels for a first time visit to Tokyo? If you have any websites in mind, I'm open to it, thank you. The way that I find B&Bs is Airbnb. I'm not trying to be patronizing or anything. Airbnb is the best one to find, like those independent Airbnb places, those little secret spots that you might not find on the other website that I usually use, which is booking.com. I have a good old time sifting through the ratings, checking what people have said, looking at the location and just comparing prices. I love it. It's a favorite pastime of mine. It gets me excited to travel. So those are my 2 favorite websites. I live here, so for me it's different. I don't have to travel or stay in an Airbnb for Tokyo because I live so close, so I can just visit within about 35 minutes. I'm in Tokyo. I've really felt the need to yet, but for now my heart's set on other destinations that are a little bit further to make it like more of a trip and, you know, venture outside of this space because I'm always over here. But I guess for certain experiences, a lot of people do go to the capsule hotels. I think I'd like to try that eventually. Once again, depends on your budget. You can find some dirt cheap places, just don't expect it to look lavish. It's gonna look like something out of the 1960s. There's no other amenities, there's just a toilet. Maybe you have to share a toilet, maybe you can go to a hostel. It just depends on what your budget is and what you're looking for, but there are cheap places available. Being a fan of you for a long time, I wanted to know a few things. Thanks for answering. What are your top 3 cities, towns that are a must visit? Of course, Tokyo City. Osaka and Kyoto come together because they're so close together. You might as well do both of them. Osaka's good for the food and the shopping, and Kyoto's good for the traditional culture and the shrines and seeing geisha or maiko. I don't know, man. It's a tie between Okinawa and Hokkaido. If you want the beach, recommend to go to Okinawa. If you want some snow or some good food, go to Hokkaido. It's a good time. And Tokyo is just epic because it's like the center of the world. It's just the capital, so everybody wants to go there, and it's just, you feel like you're in Japan there, you know? I think I've got more places to visit. That will probably change within time, but for now, those are the best spots that I recommend people to visit. Are there any tourist traps in Japan that one should be aware of? Personally, what's a tourist trap for me? I don't know if tourist traps actually exist. Like, you can see what they're doing. They're just trying to promote whatever it is at the moment. I think maybe places that, you know, like the pop-up places, and they do special edition food, but all they do is literally stick the character in the food. For me, that's a tourist trap, but I don't think it's worth it. But I guess the novelty of having something in the shape, like a normal omelette in the shape of Pikachu or something, that might just rock somebody's world. So who am I to say that's a tourist trap? I'm a hypocrite because I've done it myself. I went to Urusei Yatsura, which is one of my favorite old school mangas. That's one of the first things that I read and got me, you know, initially attracted to Japan. So I had a soft spot, and that's why I went to the pop-up cafe to just support and be there. Asakusa, there's a big temple there. There's like a walkway with stalls on either side, and you do not need to be buying things there because 1, they're expensive, and 2, what do you need it for? And 3, you could probably find it cheaper in Don Quixote, like, or somewhere down the street side. Like, I know that you want to be like, oh my god, I'm in Asakusa, I've got to buy something. Don't do it. Just go there and take a picture. And that's with many places actually. Yeah, Tokyo Skytree also, I don't feel like the view is worth it. I feel like it's too new for it to really be that special. I've eaten facing Tokyo Skytree. That was fun, but I don't feel like it's actually worth hyping about or even going shopping in there. I don't feel like there's anything in Tokyo Skytree. It's just good to look at from afar. A bit like how I feel about Mount Fuji. I actually prefer Tokyo Tower because I feel like it's more old school and more like memorable. And I'm looking online. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Akihabara. Sometimes I don't even know why I'm there. I think I like looking at Akihabara for like 10 minutes. But when I think about it, there's like literally nothing to do there. Unless you're an otaku. Otaku means nerd, by the way. And you're into like manga, cosplay, anime, and technical stuff, like buying gadgets and stuff. There's not much, there won't be much for you to do there. Terrible for eating food and terrible for like sightseeing. It's just literally that one street with all the cool like stores. Shinjuku, which is like a drinking street. The drinks are expensive, the food is expensive, it's crowded. I mean, it's novelty because it's crowded and you're all cramped up in there. If you like it, go for it, but I just don't think it's worth the money. I've got some in my area that I haven't visited yet, but I see them and I'm like, oh, that's a cute little spot, like maybe I can make some friends, and then I never go, but they're there. I feel like foreigners like the fact that it's like novelty and it's like famous and it's popular. If you say, oh, I went to some like local street called Buchikataku, like what the hell's Buchikataku? And then you have to explain to this person, it's like, oh, I don't know what that is. But if you like say, oh, I went to Shibuya, people are like, oh, you went to Shibuya? Oh my god, I've seen that on TV. Like, people get hyped about that because they know about it or they've heard about it. But if you're a real one, okay, if you live here or if you really want to get authentic things, avoid all those places. Like, there's no point. If you want to head to that tourist trap to get that experience, you can just know that you could find a lot cheaper probably. Okay, so that is part 1 done with, guys. I'm gonna post part 2 maybe later on in the week, so stay tuned. If you've got any other answers or anything to add to my answers, please comment down below and help each other, because that's what we are. We are a community, guys, and make just life more fun, simple and easier to travel and live in Japan. Keep submitting. If you have any more questions, go to the community tab and ask me there, and I will try to keep answering as many as I can throughout this month of October, because everybody is trying to come to Japan. There's probably things on your mind that's driving you crazy. I'm gonna try my best to help you, or at least set you in the right direction. If I've done a good job, give me a like, follow me, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and until next time, guys, Faito, Gambite, peace and love.